Hi guys, how are you? Good morning. This is the second video you're doing today. The first video you already did it, which was how to open up the door using the actual door as a trigger or mouse down instead of the button. Okay, it was very simple. I showed you how to do that. If you remember, I showed you you make the button large and then you take off the mesh render so you can make it transparent. Okay, we did that already. Remember that you're supposed to do this in your cabin, okay? This is for in the cabin project. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to add a creaking sound now to the door. We've done that before, how to actually do that, but I'm going to just show you how to do it in this environment, okay? In your cabin area. All right, so here we go. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to make sure that you select your button, okay? Make sure your button is selected and that you're selecting the mouse down door open FSM. Remember, FSM is a finite state machine. Okay, and what you're going to do is very simple, and before we do that, we're going to get our sound. So we're going to come over here. We're going to go to findsounds.com. Remember, it's find sounds with a plural. Okay, if not, you're going to get an error and you're not going to be able to get into it. Or you could go to any other website that you find that you're happy with in terms of sounds. So findsounds.com. That's where you're going to go. You're going to go to findsounds.com. Here it is. Remember, find sounds, plural S. Okay? And you're going to go and put creaking sound. Okay, creaking. And we're going to go ahead and do search. And we're going to get a series of creaking things here. You choose the one you like. We're going to play this one, see how it works. Let's close this up here. Okay, sometimes you get a lot of ads and stuff. So let's go ahead and click on door creaking right over here. We're going to click right on it. It's an MP3, which is pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and hit play over here. I think that's what we do. Let me just make sure because it's not opening up right now. I'm not sure why it's not opening up. Okay, let's see why it's not opening up. Yeah, not sure why it's not opening. Creaking door. I'm going to open it up and say open in a new tab. Okay, for some reason it's not opening. That's kind of weird. Let me just get this one. Yeah, I don't know why it's not opening. Okay, that one opened. Maybe it's just my computer's kind of slow right now. Let's try this one again. Let's try the creaking door. Yeah, for some reason that one's not opening up. All right, so let's just go ahead and go to another one over here. Let's make sure that we're at a right place here. So creaking door, let's try that one out. I think that was the same one we tried before. All right, let me go to the next page. Creak door, here we go. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so it's just a matter of getting the right one. For some reason, those weren't loading. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here. Once you hit play, you're going to come over here and you're going to say download. And that's going to download the creaking door, creak door. Okay, number 2 if you're looking for the same one. Then we're going to go over here to the to your project. And remember, we go to the main assets folder, okay? The main assets folder. And you should have a folder already called sound. If you don't, you have to make a folder called sound. All right, just like I have here. How do you do that? You right click in an empty area, you say create, and then create folder. Once you create the folder, you give it a name, call it sound or sound effects, whatever you'd like, but make sure we keep everything organized. So we're going to come in here and we're going to make sure to put that file right in here, okay? We want to put that actual file. So where do we get that file? Well, we downloaded it, remember, and that always goes into your file explorer. It goes onto your downloads, and there it is, creak door. You see that? So what we're going to do is drag it in here. Okay, there it is, creak door. So there is my file. It is an MP3 file, as you can see over here. We're going to close this up, and there's my creak door file. We go back now to Playmaker. Now, you're probably saying, well, wait, I'm going to Playmaker, but I don't see anything here. That's because you don't have your button selected. Okay, remember, we apply these scripts to the actual objects. In this case, most of it has been to that button because that's what we're working on. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on the button. We're going to make sure we click the right FSM, which is door open on the mouse down, because that's when we want the sound to come up, when we put that mouse down and click on the button. So we're going to come over here. Notice you have your action browser over here. That's an action that you're adding. It's called play sound. All right, so we're going to go to, we're going to click on the action browser, and we're going to type in here play sound, play. Once you hit play, the play sound will already automatically show up right over here. So I can either double click it or I can drag it right into here. Okay, sorry about that, guys. What we're going to do is sometimes I just like to double click it. It'll open up right away, or I could drag it. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and double click it, and notice it comes up right here. And the moment it comes up, you're going to notice it has a little red exclamation mark, and that's because obviously it's telling you there's a problem. And there's no sound right now. It's just the that's just the script to play the sound. Notice over here on the mouse down button, same kind of thing. You have the red exclamation mark because there is no sound. So where do you add the sound? Very simple. You go to audio clip right over here in the play sound action. Click on this little target or bullseye. Okay, we call it a target. Click on it, and if we did everything right and put it in the folder that we were supposed to put it in, you will get the creaking door right over here, along with the other ones that are in that folder. Okay, so again, here you could just double click on it if you like. Okay, and once you double click on it, the exclamation mark has disappeared, and we're ready to go ahead and play our little video. So I mean, play our game, or soon to be game. So here we go. We're going to play it. We're going to go to the actual door. So notice we're going to the door. Okay, there it is. And we're going to go ahead and open it up. Now notice my button is not transparent. So how do you make it transparent? All right. We make it transparent by just selecting it and clicking on Mesh Render, clicking it off. And now we can hit play again. And we'll go back to the door, and we won't see that big ugly button in the middle of it, you see, but it'll still be there, meaning that, you know, you come over here and it opens up the door. Okay, same thing happens if you close it again. All right, it won't creak, which is okay. We can add the creaking later, or you can add the creaking later. I think you know how to do that, and that's pretty much simple. It's the way you add the creaking sound is on door closed, because remember that when we're closing the door, then the sound is going to sound. I want you to do that. I actually want you to do the creaking sound on the door closed because it makes sense. It's just exactly what you did on this finite state machine. Okay, on this FSM over here, it's exactly what you did, that you added the action. You just have to now click on this one and add the action to that one. And that one will do it on the mouse down, okay, for the door to close. So that's what you need to do. You should have, by today, the first video done, the one before this one, and this video done. So you should be able to open the door by clicking on the door and listening to a creaking sound. Okay, now the creaking sound in my case, notice it was a little long. So it doesn't, the door opened and then the creaking sound was still happening. And that's just, you could solve that in different ways. One way is by getting a sound that's a little bit smaller. And those of you that know how to do it, you could put it into Adobe Premiere and edit it down to exactly how many seconds. We can also slow the door down a little bit. And I can teach you how to do that later on. But we could slow the door down to kind of match the sound of the creak of the door. All right, that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. I try to make it as quickly as possible. It was 9 minutes long, not too long compared to the other ones that we used to have that we used to be in at 25 minutes. So here we go. Once you finish, you show it to me, and then you can go ahead and play, you know, esports, okay? All right. Love you guys. I'll see you. Bye.